So, going back, because I think at the beginning you'd said sort of, about the fact that you have, influence, social influence, and you said, perhaps this is just, part of my personality. And I think what you're talking about now is really not about personality. So maybe let's talk a little bit more about, what are the qualities of influence? Because that, to me, anybody can, develop that knowledge about themselves and develop that level of comfort and, acceptance. That's not necessarily a personality thing. What do you think the other sort of qualities are to be someone that has influence?
I think it's really important to be accepting. If you're accepting what universe gives you and what other people want to tell you, sometimes the source of energy and the source of self-development is an unusual place. Like, a lot of people don't like to be criticized. I find this is the best way to improve. When people criticize
you, absolutely, yes.
They actually give you a very, very exact point where you can become better. So instead of arguing that, no, I'm not that, I'm better, you just do what they say to improve, and immediately, instead of paying thousands for coaching,
yes.
You'll just get this from a stranger, for example.
What I've learned to do with criticism is to just, when someone criticizes, is to say thank you, because all of it may not be useful, all of it may not be true, but I think in criticism there are always gems of knowledge, and it's about you being able to sort of sift through and work out where are the insights, and what of this can I just put in the bin because it's actually not true. And if you kind of in the moment kind of respond, and just throw the whole thing away, you miss those gems. But if you say thank you, you have an opportunity to kind of sift it through. So that's sort of my kind of thing. I mean, I would agree.
So yes, being accepting, acceptive person, I think that really helps to be an influencer to the others, because it's always an exchange of energy. Any interaction is an exchange of energy. Also, I think important is to self-improve. I think constant learning is part of the personal growth and part of being better yourself. Talking about the influences in my life, they were great teachers. Sometimes they didn't even realize that they were my teachers. At a certain point, my mentor was a writer. He was a very famous writer in Russia. He was part of a society of writers and other things. So we had a little bit of an exercise once a week, literature exercise. We wrote short stories. He gave me a topic. We developed the characters and things like that. And he always praised me on how good I work with words, but he said, you lack experience, your characters are lifeless. And I was so offended. How possible? I know everything. How me at my 30s or 40s can be not clever enough to know about people. And then I projected my desire to universe. I wanted stories. I wanted stories of people to write about. And oh gosh, didn't they pour on me? People started to unravel their stories in front of me. Yeah. And then I realized I can't write about them because they're too personal.
Okay.
So my initial desire for stories had one particular reason. And then when I received what I wanted, I think that I had to cancel the reason, basically. So I know a lot of things that people tell me, and I know that I can't share it with anyone. But it made me richer in so much more ways. Maybe I didn't become a writer, but I became a better version of me.
Absolutely, and I think that's interesting in itself, because that's how we go forward in life, isn't it? We're on a journey, we have goals, but when we, it's about the journey and the process rather than the destination, because often we set that goal, but as we get closer to it, the goal shifts to something else. So, you set up wanting to be a writer and then realize that actually, no, there was something more that you needed to do, something larger than that.